He tried to grab you and he fell and he hit his head. We're going together. I'll tell him what happened.
Andor is amazing. Amazing acting, amazing editing, amazing cinematography, amazing soundtrack, just amazing. I mean, yeah, it's amazing. And it's also, in my opinion, what Star Wars needed. For the past few years, Star Wars has had a less than stellar reputation. After The Last Jedi, everything has kind of been downhill. Now, that's not to say it's awful. I love Solo and Clone Wars Season 7. Both Mando and Book of Boba Fett were great, of course, but there's just been so much stuff, and a lot of it hasn't been amazing. Most of it's been mediocre. Now, there isn't anything wrong with mediocre, but that doesn't mean there's anything good with it either. It's, well, in the middle. Star Wars should be amazing. It's a special thing. And as fans of the franchise, we shouldn't settle for just okay. We shouldn't settle for good enough. We shouldn't settle for mediocre. For example, Kenobi should have been amazing. It was everything everyone wanted. Or at least, it was supposed to be. It was something that Disney put a lot of money, resources, and talent into. The people behind it were passionate, and everyone wanted this. But for whatever reason, it just wasn't great. Sure, it had a lot of good parts. I really enjoyed Vader. I mean, Vader's amazing, but like that's a low bar. Vader makes everything better. So saying he was the best part of something isn't a compliment. If anything, that's an insult. Except for in Rogue One. I mean, that's the only time Vader being the best part of something is a pass, because Rogue One was great on its own. That Vader scene just was next level, though. That's the only time Vader being the best part of something gets a pass. But so much Star Wars recently has just been less than great. Seasons 4 of Rebels was... I mean, it was good, but it was a step down from Season 3. Rise of Skywalker was... I mean, it was a movie, alright? And, well, we all know how I feel about Kenobi. And for as much as I love Studio Ghibli, their most recent addition to Star Wars was less than memorable. That being said, I still love you, Studio Ghibli, and you guys are amazing and the best, and When Marnie Was There is an absolute masterpiece. And no, I'm not going to give any more updates on the Ghibli video right now. I'm just going to keep teasing everyone that it's eventually going to come out, but you know, we all know it never is, so in your face. So with all of this being, you know, meh products, why should Andor be any different? It's a show about one of the characters in Star Wars that just was there. I mean, before the Andor show, did any of us really remember him? I mean, I know I sure didn't. All I remember was he was the guy from Rogue One. If a show about freaking Obi-Wan Kenobi is just meh, why is a spin-off about the hot guy from Rogue One gonna be any good? This is what me and a lot of other people thought. And for good reason. Andor had nothing special going into it. If I wasn't a giant fan of Star Wars, I wouldn't have even given it a glance. But since I have sold my soul to the corporate overlords, I was obligated to check it out. And I'm so glad I did. Andor is what Star Wars needs. Andor is amazing. For starters, Andor is just great. I've said it, everyone else is saying it, I don't think I need to keep saying it. It's amazing. End of discussion. Okay, you can close this video now, please don't, I need the views. But the real question is, why is it amazing? And why do we need more things like it? Well, for starters, it doesn't just focus on throwing fan service everywhere. No, don't get me wrong, I love me some good old-fashioned fan service. Like, ooh, I know that thing, I get dopamine now, yay! But fan service should never be the focus when writing something. It should always be an extra. You don't want a plate full of sprinkles, you want cake with a bit of sprinkles. Unless you do want just some sprinkles. I mean, okay, you weirdo. If you focus on fan service instead of the show itself, you end up with a hollow project like, well, Kenobi. Instead of actually being a good show, Kenobi leaned on the fact that it had stuff we fans already knew and liked, and the show let that do the heavy lifting. Sure, it was cool to see the Vader and the Inquisitors, but there was no substance, no real heart or passion, just a hollow shell. Andor actually focuses on the story and its characters, and sure, that doesn't seem like a lot, but it goes a long way. The show doesn't say, hey, look at me, I have Darth Vader or this character you remember. Instead, it focuses on its fast and great characters. I don't know why I said fast. Instead, it focuses on its great character work to make sure you really care about these characters. And make sure to focus on the world and its stories, and well, it crafts a great narrative around that. It's slow and it lets the audience understand things. And that's just great. But look, I've said it a million times in this video already. You know this show is good. So here's the real question. Why do we need more like it? Well, because I feel Star Wars has hit a dead end. After the sequel trilogy, Star Wars went heavy on the TV shows. Mando, Book of Boba Fett, Visions, all of them came out within the last few years and have oversaturated Star Wars. Sure, I enjoy them all, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. I'd rather have some of the best shows ever than just a bunch of okay shows. Looking at you, Marvel. But with Andor, the show doesn't actually focus on being Star Wars first. It focuses on actually being a show. And if Star Wars continues to make more TV shows, they should actually focus on making solid shows first instead of just making fan service. So what am I trying to say here? Well, Andor is incredible, you should all watch it, and Disney should make more stuff like it. That's it. This video could have been like 10 seconds long. Just watch Andor. It's good. Disney, make more stuff like Andor. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you like and subscribe. Have a nice day, and bye!